So, welcome everyone. We were just dropping in for those who are joining the replay and have been sharing how the sisters came to be here. And actually, give me just a sec. I'm going to change my screen view. Okay. So, we have women from all over the world, Scotland, Romania. Are you in Romania, Diana, right now? Or elsewhere? Okay, yeah. The US, scattered about, Hawaii, all over the place. So, uh, I would love for you to just drop in the chat. What would life look and feel like if you were confident in your voice? Give me some juicy content to get started. Brighter and freer. Yes, Cora. Yeah. Anyone else? It would feel vibrant. Yes, I love that word. Brighter, freer, vibrant. Orgasmic, anyone? Happy, more myself. Yes, yes. So, fulfilled, powerful, easeful, and yes, vibrant for sure. More playful, free, at peace, powerful. These are amazing words. Yeah. Yeah. And part of the reason we feel more that way when our voices are expressed is because they're literally vibrating us and aligning us more wholly with the cosmos, right? With all that is. So, yeah, we are meeting today at a really potent time because it is the equinox. We just had the spring equinox on Monday. We had the new moon in Aries yesterday, and Sarah says I would feel lighter, freer, fulfilled by sharing healing and inspiration with others. Yes, ditto. Yeah. So we are in Aries season right now, and this new moon and the equinox are asking for new beginnings. And we're here to take risks and make changes despite the fear, which is going to come up when we use our voices. And go after what thrills and delights and excites us, right? This titillating. And I think for most of us, using our voices more fully is absolutely in that realm, right? So to open this soul party and welcome whoever just came in, I think I just let somebody in and now I don't see them, but welcome. So we're going to start by drawing a sacred circle around us and calling in. Vesna, you are here. Hi, I can't see you, but welcome. I can't see you, it's strange. But you're here, so yay. So we're gonna draw a sacred circle, calling in, dropping in, asking our guidance teams to be with us, drawing the circle clockwise around the space. And I'm just going to play a little bit of crystal bowl and do a little singing invocation. And you are welcome to join me, but there is no pressure at this moment. So we can bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly, calling your energy back fully into the space around you. Feeling it arrive more concentrated around you. Feel into your intention for our time together today. Maybe there's a word that comes to mind. Just call that in now. Hold it in your heart space. And to add to all of our intentions, I would just add that we are gathering here on behalf of the highest good of all, ourselves and of all, and that we be in service to the highest good and to the collective awakening that is happening at this time. All right, it's telling me to set up professional audio, which I thought I had done. Well, we'll see if this works better. I hope that sounded okay, and I'm sorry to pull you out like that. Bringing your awareness back into the room, because I have 26 pages of notes. So just noticing how incredible it is, how quickly sound can shift the energy of a space. It does not, never ceases to amaze me how quickly it can happen. And we all have this ability with our voices, all of us. So I would love to next sing our names into the circle. So I'm gonna get my drum, and you can stay on mute. This is not about, freaking anybody out. This is just about us having a good time right now. And as you sing your name, you can follow my lead, you can improvise, you can speak. Oh, Sarah's sharing her intention to find, experience, and be joy, even and especially during the struggles and hardships of life. Yes, sister. I feel we can all get on board with that intention. Yes, thank you for setting that for all of us. So joy, we're gonna tap into that right now. I want you to think about yourself being the tuning fork, being the vibration, and feeling it from your vagina all the way up through your crown, right? All the way through the body and out and through your feet. So it's going both directions, down, up, out in all directions. And I'm just gonna make up a little ditty here. And you can insert your name, whatever melody I come up with. Is that drum sound okay? We're good? Okay. Settings are hard on Zoom. My name is Kimberly. My name is Kimberly. My name is My name is Fill in your name. My name is Kimberly. Get a little groovy. My name is Kimberly. My name is Kimberly. My name is Kimberly. My name is Kimberly. We're gonna change it up. My name is sacred. My name is one with all that is. My name is whatever your name is. My name is sacred. My name is one with all that is. My name is Kimberly. My name is sacred. My name is one with all that is. We'll do that one more time. My name is Kimberly. moon if you need to. It's a new moon. Oh, wonderful. So if you have your journals with you, I'd love to take just a moment. I know that was really brief, but I just wanted to drop in. And so I'd love for you to take 2 minutes right now, 1 to 2 minutes, to just write in your journal what that felt like. What did you notice physically, energetically, emotionally, as we did that little singing together? And you can feel free to drop some of that in the chat as well. And it's okay if you felt a little blocked too, right? If emotions were coming up that weren't the happy ones, that's great. I mean, it might not feel great, but it's still great. Good, so I should have set the timer, but we're probably about a minute, minute and a half. And feel free to pop any words or thoughts in the chat so we can hear what happened. I felt a little vulnerable. Yeah. Funny how singing brings that up in us. Even if nobody's hearing us, it can bring it up in us. Right? Very hesitant to open my mouth and wanted to cry immediately. I felt emotional being seen and potentially being heard. Yeah. Yep. That is so common. Thank you for sharing that, Allison. Yeah, Cora felt that too. Ah, Dominique felt peace and joy. I drank cacao before this and feel her support. Yay, heart medicine. So that's something to try before our gatherings. We can drink cacao and have her help, her assistance. Yes. I felt that I was holding back and need to loosen up. Yes. Ha, I ate a piece. Yes. Oh, we're on the same wavelength here. Awesome. So yeah, it can be really vulnerable. And we're gonna do some practices. I purposely kind of threw us into this because I wanted you to feel what comes up when I just immediately throw you in with the sharks, so to speak. Like, here, just use your voice. Ah, it's supposed to be fun, right? And sometimes it is, but also stuff can come up. So Amy says, even though I'm on mute, it felt a little scary, as if I were to open my mouth, everyone might hear me. So I was holding back a little. Yeah, and we really need to drop in with, why is that so fucking scary? What the fuck is that story, right? I mean, seriously. Just so over that story. So that's why we're here. But we come by it honestly. And so we're going to do some practices in a moment that help us start to retrain the nervous system so that then when we drop in, it can be in a deeper way instead of from this fight, flight, or freeze that most of us are in when we try to sing. I was a little distracted too because my kiddos came in looking at me. Yeah, that'll do it. Your kids. Yeah, understandable, right? There's things like I was trying to get ready for this and I didn't want Marvin around, my husband. I just wanted to have my own space, right? So, and that's okay. We can want our own space and we can protect our own sacred space and be vulnerable. And we can also blossom ourselves so that it is more available for us to be expressed in other places besides our bedroom, right? Yeah. So I want to take some time now to share my story. And I've really gone back and forth with myself on this. I'm going to amend it greatly. There's a lot that I could share, thus the 26 pages, but also it's in very big print, by the way, because my eyes aren't what they once were. But I've decided I really want to share my story for a few reasons. One is that I was just in a training the other day with this amazing teacher, and he shared his story, and I bawled the whole time, and I was so moved by it. And we are so moved by one another's stories, right? And so I want to share where I've come from and help to have you know me better, and how I came to do this work, and why it is so close to my heart, and why I believe so strongly in it. And also because archetypically speaking, I feel like my story really, really illustrates the disintegrated masculine and feminine of the past 2000 or so years. And my guess is that you will hear your story in my story as well, and aspects of this. And I have a lot of the witch wound going on in this story, and that's something that we're here to unwind together. So, this her story, the history, the her story has really created this mortal fear of standing out, of being seen, of being heard. And why? Because many people were put to death because of this. And this lives in our bodies, it's in our cells, it's in our lineage. And this is the time where we're here to heal this. And I feel like everyone knows exactly what I'm talking about. So I also have really been able to find my voice. Thank you, Allison. I've been able to find my voice in spite of so many roadblocks and obstacles. And I hope that this will be inspiring to you, to let you know that we can all find our voices, and whatever that means to us. It doesn't have to mean becoming a singer like I did. It can be whatever that means to each of us. We can heal in spite of the odds, and this is the time for it. Okay, so let's begin at the beginning of my life. My mom actually went into labor with me at a concert. I was kicking so hard to the music that I broke her water, and I happened to be kicking in time. Thank you very much. I have good rhythm. So I'm kicking to the beat, and her water breaks, and I am born. And I always have known that music was my calling in life. And I had amazing grandparents on my mother's side. They were so musical. They championed the arts. They were just absolute joy and magic. They had a Dixieland jazz band. They performed all over the state. They gave of themselves constantly. They performed in hospice. They performed for nursing homes. They just brought joy wherever they went. And it was such an honor to spend time with them. And my grandfather was like Louis Armstrong and a white man. So he scat sang, and he played trumpet, and he would dance, and he was the life of the party. And then my grandmother was just beautiful and so sweet and kind and loving. And she played piano. She was an artist. She did calligraphy. She sewed her own costumes and clothing. She was just amazing. And when she died, they found in the basement, the whole basement was just full of gifts that she had bought for people, and written post-it notes on who to give it to and when, and all these little notes, loving notes that she'd written to people about what she saw in them. And at her funeral, I'm telling you, the whole town came, and people were just backed out on the street. You could not fit everybody in the church because she was so loved. So I grew up with this amazing environment. I would go over to their house and sing. She'd pull out these stacks of music, and I'd sight sing, and my grandpa would sing duets and play trumpet with me. And it was just magic. I loved it. They helped me get ready for my musicals. And so I felt so supported artistically. And yet at the same time, there was the dark side, the dark side of the family history. And so my grandparents and my aunts and my mom couldn't make a living doing music, so they always had to do it on the side. And I watched how my mom and my grandmother and my aunts would exhaust themselves playing for free. They were expected to accompany high school musicals, to accompany church services every week, to accompany all the community events without pay, because they were women and because they were married. And it was something that really affected me. And I didn't even realize it until many years later, how much it had affected me and kind of given me this starving artist mentality. And I also had an aunt who was incredibly beautiful and an incredible singer. She won competitions. She could have had a career. And she was so self-conscious, and she had such bad anxiety attacks that she actually gave up singing completely. She does not sing anymore. And I think that is tragic that that happened, because she brought such gifts to the world through her voice. So also it affected me deeply, because if this beautiful woman with this incredible voice couldn't sing, what chance did I have, right? I'm this little kid watching this unfold, and it really affected me. So I also had a narcissistic father, and that was a childhood of having my voice taken from me and walking on eggshells, tiptoeing around, hypervigilance, disassociation, feeling incredibly unsafe, never knowing when a blow up was going to occur. And so I became incredibly careful. And I was also raised Catholic, and this is not judgment on Catholicism in general, but the way that I experienced it was this patriarchal, narcissistic taking of my voice as well. And I needed to be careful, and I was afraid of all kinds of things. Sex was a mortal sin if you didn't do it only for procreation when you were married. And so sensuality got shut down in my body very early on. And this all really was a wild experience with my family. My siblings rebelled, and they all were on all kinds of drugs, including meth. And it was just this really chaotic and devastating time. And in the middle of this, I developed really bad health problems. And as we know for instance, in yogic teachings, illness manifests in our energy body first. And I was manifesting all kinds of illnesses because of my unhealthy mindset and environment and thought process. And so I had really severe cystic acne. That was mortifying, and I was ashamed to be seen. It covered my chest, my face, my back, my arms. It hurt. I couldn't forget about it. I spent hours putting makeup on. I just wanted to hide under my bed all day, every day, and never be seen. And I had depression, anxiety, a lot of menstrual problems, IBS, all kinds of things. And I'm trying to pursue a career as a singer in the middle of this, which was really, really not fun. It was pretty miserable for a lot of years. So I was performing professionally, and by the time I was in college, I started having anxiety attacks when I was performing when I was in middle school. And I didn't know what they were, but I would nearly black out. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't see straight. I just would feel panicked, completely panicked. Sometimes though, I performed really well. So it was a crapshoot as to what was going to happen any given day. So I was singing professionally by the time I was in grad school, and the environment was basically, get your shit together. There's money on the line. You're getting paid for this. Stop doing whatever you're doing and perform. So I didn't really have anybody who understood or was supporting me in this. And it wasn't until therapy years later that I even knew that it was anxiety attacks that I was having. So fast forward to my master's recital. This is a story I want to tell because it was a really pivotal moment. So I was really nervous about the recital because of the anxiety attacks. And so I wanted to be over prepared. And, I just had all of this anxiety. I was nervous about if I was going to be a pizza face, if my face was going to be broken out for it. I was doing all of these cleanses. I didn't have money I had gotten the memo that I needed to do holistic practices. And so I was self-diagnosing and doing all these things, reading these magazines, researching on the internet, and trying to figure out how to heal my acne. So I was doing all these cleanses, and I was writing my own arrangements for the master's recital. I arranged an ensemble of musicians. I paired poetry with the songs. I sang in a zillion different languages. I did costume changes. We had rehearsals. I was just going a million miles a second, and I went way above and beyond the normal expectations of a master's recital. In fact, I actually sent out invitations and I hung flyers all around Denver. I just went for it. And I did have a really big audience, and I was so excited and nervous. And so the last song that I sang on this recital was this vampire. I was a vampire. And it was so cathartic for me to be this character. And so I'll just sing a little bit of it to you. She was like, I am a vamp, half woman, half beast. I bite my men and suck them dry, and then I bake them in a pie. I am a vamp, that's all I can do. I'm not mild-mannered like you. I don't know, my passion takes over and off I go. I should really be kept in a zoo. So she's this crazy character. Haven't played her in a minute, but I loved singing this song. And during the song, I had a strapless dress on and I had a lavalier mic. And the lavalier mic pulled my dress and my bra down, and I literally flashed the entire audience, one breast, just whoop. And I mean, my family's in the front row, so I stayed in character. Yes, Cora, oh no, yes. And I pulled it up, I turned around, I hiked everything back up and didn't miss a beat and kept singing. So afterwards, we go to the reception, and my mom and my sisters are acting really weird. And they take me into the back room, and I find out that my dad is livid. He is furious at me. And the funny thing is, he never even said anything about me flashing the audience. So I don't even know if he saw that happen. I don't even, not everybody in the audience realized it happened. So he never said anything about that. But what he said later, he called me that night and he said, I am disowning you. I am mortified at your behavior. I can't believe you sang such a trashy song, and you are not my daughter. And so I can't tell you what it did to my body. The trauma response was so deep. I shook and could not stop crying for days. I had put my whole being and soul into that experience, and then it was just taken. And I don't know how to describe what it did, but I shook for years after, whenever I would talk about it. And it really affected my singing deeply. In fact, in therapy, I'm just uncovering other areas that I hadn't even realized that it's still holding me back. So I also had a ton of narcissistic boyfriends. I was trying to date all the different men from my dad, who was a lawyer. So I'm dating artists and musicians and a bodybuilder. But guess what they all had in common? They were all narcissistic personality types. And I didn't understand this thing that I later learned in therapy called repetition compulsion, which is where we repeat the wounding of our past in the hopes of finally being loved in the way that we weren't loved, right? And we're doing it unconsciously. So thankfully, therapy helped me recognize that, and I'm now in a wonderful and very loving relationship, and he is not a narcissist, and it's amazing. So I tell you the background of all this because in the midst of it all, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that when you're in grad school, you have these things every quarter that are called juries. And a jury is where you're literally being judged by the voice faculty on your singing. And so they're sitting there with pen and paper, watching every little thing that you do. They're judging your diction, they're judging your mouth placement, your tongue, your jaw dropping, your facial expressions, your interpretation of the song. Everything is under a microscope. And I would just get so nervous. Dom, you had a similar experience sharing your poetry publicly for the first time. Oh, and your mother having a horrible reaction. And you never pieced that together with sharing your voice. Yeah. Yep. These things affect us for years to come. Thank goodness for things like EFT and healing practices, right? So I knew intuitively that there was something to singing, but I left performing behind because I knew that this wasn't it for me. I was miserable, and that is not why I went into music. So I was searching for the voice that is healing and transcendent, the kind of singing and the kind of sonic experiences that I'd had. I'd had them while I was performing. I'd had my body taken over by a bolt of lightning and just had these incredibly mystical experiences. And by the way, I've had mystical experiences my whole life, and they were not, there was no place in our house growing up for them even remotely being understood. And I think that's really common for many of us who are intuitives. And thankfully discovering that Indigenous cultures actually have teachings and assistance around these experiences, and that we can all have them. So I ended up following my inner guidance, and it helped me start my healing process. Step by step, it guided me in the direction of well-being. And I feel like I'm living a completely different life. I'm inhabiting a completely different body at this point. There is still healing to do, but there has been so much done. And I ended up opening up a voice studio in Los Angeles, and so many things happened against all the odds. I had no support. I didn't have money. I had this voice studio, and then it won awards, and then I had clients, and I didn't know how to market. I didn't know how to run a business, but these things were just coming because I was following my path, my guidance. And I really want to stress that it is time. And I don't think I'm preaching to this isn't new information. I don't think for any of you here that it's time to really follow our intuition. And we have been taught not to. And it's scary. It's gonna kick up fear when we do it. So my therapist actually years ago said that she thought that my healing practices, so the singing, the dancing, improvisational, ecstatic dancing, releasing sound, yoga, breath work, holistic healthcare, all of these practices that I did, she said, were why she was sure that I hadn't ended up with either a nervous breakdown or a physical health breakdown that landed me in the hospital. And I think she's absolutely correct. We can heal this stuff, but we need to have practices that move it through. And we're going to do some of those in a little bit. So we don't have time to talk about all of it. That's the highlights of this journey. And it's fucking hard at times. Let's just honor it. Sometimes life is deeply difficult. And I do believe that we can transcend learning through mainly pain and suffering to learning mainly through joy. That doesn't mean that pain or suffering will never present themselves, but that we are moving more and more in this upward spiral towards joy, right? And so that's absolutely what I'm wanting to call in with all of you today is joy, lightness, everything you were saying at the beginning, vibrance, right? So I want to share now how Singing for Your Wild Soul came to be. And then I will stop talking and we'll do practices. But this also felt important to share. I'm hoping that you will hear, again, some of your stories in this. So I've had a vision of this sisterhood of voice healing for years now. And I was putting it off because it wasn't time, number one, but also there's tech involved. I just knew that there was going to be a lot of logistical stuff that needed to happen. And then in 2020 through 2022, I was ranking number one on Google internationally for holistic and spiritual voice lessons. And it was incredibly busy, and so many people are searching for voice healing. And I had a long wait list, and I was seeing tons of clients, and I have been doing it for 15 years, 15, 20 years. I don't even know. I've lost count. And I burnt out. I hit a wall. And I just felt like I can't do this anymore. I can't. Don't make me teach another voice lesson. I love my clients, but I can't say the same things over and over again. So I was grateful, but I was also frustrated, and I felt like I couldn't dive as deeply with my clients as I wanted to because we just didn't have the time. And so I also knew that my calling in life was not to teach basic voice lessons. Like, there is a lot more to this, and it was spirituality and healing and transcendence and all of these mystical states that I wanted to explore with people. I didn't want to teach people how to sing scales, you know, and that's not really why people were coming to me also. So I found out that, you know, I had been sharing the spiritual side of things one-on-one with clients when I felt safe. But what I discovered was that I had this witch wound, this deep mortal fear of stepping out and saying more publicly what I've been doing. I was terrified to talk about plant medicine. I felt like the literal, like, I don't know who was going to come and hunt me down. And it was in my body. And I had this experience that woke me up to it. It was the catalyst. So I got married 2.5 years ago, and my mother refused to come to the wedding because it wasn't a traditional Christian ceremony. We were getting married outside, and it was a Celtic hand fasting. And again, I cannot say what it did to me, but 2 weeks leading up to the wedding was a shaky mess. I couldn't stop crying. I was trying to get everything ready without my mother's help, and it was devastating. And at the same time, it was this catalyst to me realizing why I was so afraid, and that it was time for me to really step past that fear and metabolize it in my body. That's what my guides kept saying, is metabolize the fear, metabolize it, like digest it and poop it out. Just like clear that shit. So singing for your wild soul, meanwhile, I asked for guidance one morning, and not long after I woke, and I heard a voice say, there is an elegant solution for singing for your soul. And then they didn't share any more about what that would be. And I had to wait. And it was a step-by-step process of receiving guidance here and there, and then taking action and having the pieces start to fall into place. So this entire process has been an incredible trust walk. The first really scary thing was that my guides told me to stop taking private clients. So basically they said, drop your livelihood. And it's not like I had a ton of money in savings to live off of. So I'm hearing them, and I'm knowing in my body that this is the step I have to take. And yet the terror is just rising. Like, how am I going to pay my bills? What's going to happen? And during this time, they literally said, you are on the payroll. You were on the payroll of the universe as a vocal empowerment coach. You are not on the payroll as that anymore. Your job is healing yourself, giving yourself some space and some perspective, and you'll be shown what's next. So that was in February, and shortly after, I had a client who showed up and paid me more than I had ever been paid in my life, and it was enough for me to live off of for several months. And she did it completely from her own initiative. She just sent me the money, and she said, it is time for you to be supported for the work that you're doing. And Then the next thing that happened is I was flown to Hawaii 3 times, all expenses paid, to hold space as a sonic priestess. And I ended up needing that time to devote to those experiences. So it was perfect that I wasn't seeing clients, because I would have been crazy if I had been. So I was guided. Hang on, my computer. Hold on. Sorry, ladies. Give me my screen back. There we go. Okay. Wait, where is everyone? Did I just send everybody out?
We're still here.
Okay, good. Okay, it was on a different screen. I was like, did I kick everyone out of the room? Okay, back we are. So, where was I? I'm just gonna look at my notes. So I got back in August and had taken a week vacation, and my guides had said, when you get back from this vacation, you're gonna know more. And when I got back, I did. And then they told me you're going to launch in October. And then I found a course that helped me figure out how to do some of the logistics and start ironing things out. And then it happened. So it was a complete trust fall. And now we are on the second round of Singing for Your Wild Soul. And this is the elegant solution that I was asking for. What this is allowing is for me to dive deep with a smaller group of women and really hold safe and sacred space for one another to express ourselves, to explore our voices, and to heal, so that we can step out more fully and more confidently and let the healing ripple out through us. And this is as much me finding my voice as it is you all finding yours, for sure. So I want to get into the explorations next. Thank you for listening through all of that. Does anybody have anything they want to say at this moment as we're transitioning? Okay. All right. So we are going to get groovy. Where is my thingy? So what time is it? I want to keep track of the time. Do we need to take a bathroom break at all? Can we just take like a 3 to 4 minute break, and then we'll come back and do the next stuff? Okay. So one of the main issues that we have, and we were talking about this at the very beginning, with traditional voice lessons is really that it's still in this disintegrated masculine place where it's all externally based, right? Like you go in for voice lessons, open your mouth, sing a bunch of scales, have your voice under a microscope. Do you sound perfect? It is not trauma informed. Thank you, Allison. It's not trauma informed. And meanwhile, everybody's traumatized walking in trying to do voice lessons, and especially those of us who are sensitive. And it just exacerbates everything, as my story and so many stories exemplify. So one of the most important things that I ever began to understand is to begin placing my attention inside of my body. Everything I'd been taught about singing was about singing externally, right? Singing to impress rather than to express. And when I started to really bring my awareness inside and let it feel good, that changed the entire game. So as we move forward, my invitation is that you're singing to express, you're sounding to experience what's going on in your body. And to the best of your ability, you practice releasing the judgments that are inevitably going to come up. Okay, they're still going to come up. Thank you, Allison. Yeah, that shift is like key. And it really, part of what it does is it takes us out of that fight or flight or freeze that we can get triggered into. And it helps us to come into rest and digest, which is one of the gifts that the voice can do for us. It can help us step in to rest and digest and heal the nervous system. So that is what I invite you to keep in mind as we do these practices. So we're going to stand up and kind of prep our bodies and move some energy. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is called catharsis. We're just planting our feet hip width apart and shaking. Many of you may have already done this practice, but we're going to bring in sound as we do it. So keeping the feet planted on the earth, sometimes people bounce up and down with the heels, but you want to keep the feet planted so you're grounded. And you can even actually just pause for a moment and send some roots down into the earth first through your feet and really connect in with the trees and the mycelium and the soil. Just feel yourself rooted in Mother Earth and feel her support and feel the energy that she sends back to you. Okay. And from there, we're going to start our bouncing, our catharsis. So why catharsis? It's going to warm up the body, it moves energy, and it's how animals respond to trauma. They shake, right? So we can move stuff out of our bodies prior to making sound by doing this. And my next invitation is for you to bring in sound intuitively. So maybe it's ha, and I want you to really just let the sound bounce around in your body and feel what that feels like. Get kind of crazy with it, right? You can do some lion's breath and just let that shit go. Good. And then you come to stillness and just feel. Feel the tingles, feel the release, feel whatever emotions got kicked up. If any tears come, let them come this whole time. Whatever is coming up, just allow that to integrate in the body. So our next one is we're going to take horse stance. So feet wider than hip width apart. We're going to bend the knees, get kind of ready, right? You're in this stance. And we are going to do these powerful ha, 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 ha. And we're going to do this for a minute. Ha. I don't mean a full minute, but I just mean for a moment here. Ha, ha. And I want you to find strength in your voice the best you can. There might not be a lot of strength if you haven't done something like this, but work on it. Ha, 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 ha. Feel the heat rising. Ha, 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 ha. We'll do 3 more. Ha, ha, ha. Awesome. My crystal bowl is ringing over here. So hold this stance for a moment. I want you to just breathe. Again, feeling into what did that kick up? What was that experience in the body, in the emotions, in the energy field? And at the same time, breathe deeply and calmly right now on the other side of that intensity. Good. And then you can straighten the legs and bring the feet about hip width apart. We'll bring the hands together in prayer. This is a great way to activate meridians. There's a technology to this here. And then we're going to sweep the hands up overhead and then just use them to gently work through your auric field, just bringing some of that energy to charge and seal it up. You might go down to the ground, just working with it. And then collecting some energy from the earth and bringing it up the center, up overhead. And then one more time, just bring the hands down. Good. Just feel into that. So part of what we're doing is we're kicking up adrenaline and then we're calming back down. And this is a practice that you can do. If you're preparing to public speak or something, you can kind of get yourself out of breath, activated, and then bring your heart rate back down intentionally and slow your breathing. It's a practice that can help with nerves. Good. So the last standing one I want to do is we're just going to rub our hands together, create some heat, move the energy, shake them out, and then we're going to bring one hand to sky, one hand to earth, flat, and we're going to inhale and exhale. This is called connecting heaven and earth. So you're drawing in earth energies through your feet and your lowered hand, and sky cosmic energies from the raised hand and through your head. And so just inhaling there and exhaling deeply, connecting in with your breath, with the sound of your breath and the sensation of the breath. The breath is sonic healing in and of itself. You might feel tingling in your hands and through your limbs. And then bringing hands to heart center, we'll switch sides. You are the antenna and the tuning fork. Just letting these energies mingle through your body. Beautiful. And lowering your hands, bringing them to prayer pose again. Inhaling, arms up overhead, and then we're just gonna dump over. So you're just gonna generous bend in the knees and hang your head over. Shake it yes and no. Dump it all out. Breathe deeply. And then as you come up, we're going to do something slightly different. So you're going to bring your hands together and you're just going to figure 8 up. This helps the energy in our bodies to cross over in the figure 8 pattern that it should be moving in for optimal health. Okay, so that's a great thing to do as you rise, is to do this figure 8. And I learned that from Donna Eden, who's an amazing energy healer. Good, so that is our standing practice. We're going to come to seated again. And still working with some of the yin. Okay, so we did some more yang energy practices just now, and we're going to do some yin stuff now. So the first thing I want to do is some EFT. For those who are familiar with emotional freedom technique, we're not going to go through actual speaking on the tapping, but we're just going to tap on the points and breathe, okay? And I love doing this to calm my body down. So I'll guide you through the points. I'm tapping on the side of my hand, the pinky hand side, pinky finger side, and we're just going to breathe deeply and exhale deeply, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again, just tapping in with the sound of your breath and the sensation of it moving in the body. Good. And then tapping the other hand. If you can have the exhales be longer than the inhales, that's a great way to activate vagus nerve, which calms the body. Good. So now we're going to come to the inner eye, the inside of the eyebrows, and just tapping and breathing. Good. And then we'll do the same thing with the outer eye on the temples. So tap and breathe. Awesome. So I'm going to tap under the eyes. And begin to really feel the sensation of the tapping, the pressure, the temperature of your fingers. And then slowing the tapping down, and then you can just press and breathe. And then coming under the nose, above the lip, tapping. Again, really tuning into the sensation. And then slowing. And then pressing. And really tuning into a feeling of being balanced, peaceful, settled. And then coming under the chin, tapping, opening meridians, allowing energy pathways to flow more freely. Slow the tapping, and then gently pressing. Maybe listening to some sounds in the environment around you and letting that be part of this meditation. Then tapping under the collarbones. Slowing the tapping and pressing. I'm just feeling safe, calm, balanced, settled. am safe. I create my own safety. So then tapping under the arms, you can cross your arms over or do same arm, same armpit. And tap and breathe. And then gently press. And then tapping the head. This is our final point for right now. Breathing. Slow the tapping and press. And releasing. So check in with your body. And if you're familiar with EFT, I forgot to have you do like a scale of 1 to 10, but if you were to check in on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you be right now? 10 being off the charts, anxious, and 1 being, I am chill. So just check in with yourself and notice the difference. Good. So we just practiced activating and calming. And that's something that you can do in your life. You can practice activating and calming. And that's been really valuable for me because my nervous system gets kicked up so quickly because of the hypervigilance of my upbringing. And so having myself practice going from to calm has been really valuable. And it's part of what has helped me to be able to do sound healings and sing improvisationally in front of people without having panic attacks. I might still be nervous and my voice might still not be as fluid as when I'm completely relaxed on my own, but I can manage, right? I can still sing and I can let it go if I mess up. I don't have to be perfect, right? I'm allowing. And this practice helps with that. Good. So we're gonna bring one hand to chest. Thank you so much, brave sisters, for showing up. I have to leave early. I love you, Dami. Mwah. Bye, sis. So bringing one hand to heart, one hand to belly, and just beginning to draw circles. This is another nervous system calming practice. Many people do this intuitively. So we're just gonna hum as we do this now, okay? Humming is gonna again activate vagal nerve and calm the vagus nerve, which is really powerful for helping us switch into rest and digest and experience sound from there instead of the other place. So in your own timing, we're just gonna hum a note repeatedly, okay? And you can match my pitch or sing a pitch that feels better to you. Really feel the voice resonating all the way through your torso, your head, your spine. just let yourself stop with the circles. You can keep your hands placed on your body if you like, or you can release them. Let's tone a couple more times. Really good. When you finish your last round, I invite you to just sit in stillness again and notice. Can you feel tingles? Do you feel energy moving, pulsing, vibration, emotion? Beautiful. So sitting in silence after a sounding practice is a part of the practice, and it allows for the transformation to take place. So this is a really important part of it, and it's why I keep having us do it. Okay, so we're going to do one last calming practice here. Do we have time for it? Oh my goodness, no, I don't think we do. Okay, so type in the chat for me how you're feeling right now, what your experience has been. You know, I always just want to float there for the rest of the day once I get in there. Clear and at peace. Yeah, that's great, Allison. Thank you. Peace, present, peace, calm, and tingly. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Present. It's the power of using our voices for healing. Good. So, my physical body has a good sensation. Yeah. And that comes from the energy moving and from the vagus nerve toning, which is something we will talk at length about in Singing for Your Wild Soul, is the vagus nerve. And some of these practices that we just did, I had been doing them intuitively with people, and then I discovered that they are somatic trauma healing practices. So our voices are one of the main tools that somatic trauma therapists will use for healing. And it's a switch, right? It's kind of like that switch from singing to express, or singing to impress rather than express. We also can start to relate to our voices as my voice is my healing, right? The sound of my voice is vibrating me from the inside out. It can activate my vagus nerve. It can calm me down, heal my nervous system, right? So I encourage you, even as you're speaking, to begin connecting with your voice as something that is a calming presence with you, and other people will feel it too. You might start getting comments, but the main thing is you're just going to feel better, right? All right, so I want to now sing from that place, okay? So we're gonna do, gosh, I have to make choices here. I want to do all the things. We are going to do a song. I will give you lyrics. I love doing like kind of wild soul singing and just letting it out, but we'll do something a little bit more, something that's easier to wrap your brains around. So I'm going to put the lyrics in the chat here. This is called Dance of the Elements. It's a song I wrote for just such a goddessy moment. And I'm just going to play my drum and sing it. I'm going to back up from the mic a little bit so that the drum doesn't overkill. Is that okay if I play at that volume? Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I have movements for this that we're going to do. So, and we were going to do sirens. Let's do a couple little sirens just to warm up our voices. So we're going to start low in our range and then go high and progressively higher and back down low. Just follow my lead. This will help warm us up a little more. As you do this, see again if you can check in and feel a connection from your vagina all the way through the crown of your head. And especially pay attention to the back of your throat as you do this, and see if there's a connection between your vagina, your cervix, and your throat, okay? Because they're both going to kind of go like this. Awesome. Okay, my kitty just came in to say hello to everyone. So, and I see a doggy. Okay, so sorry, bug, I gotta sing right now. So here we go. We're gonna, oh yeah, the movements. So it goes like this. Let me get my pitch. Okay, so we're gonna go like this. Sky above me, earth below me, fire within me. Sky above me, earth below me, fire within me. Water flows through me, wise in its ways. This is the dance of all days. Water flows through me, wise in its ways. This is the dance of all days. Sky above me, earth below me, fire within me. Sky above me, earth below me, fire within me. Water flows through me, wise in its ways. This is the dance of all days. Water flows through me, wise in its ways. This is the dance of all days. I'm going to bring in some drum. Just want you to have a good time with this and really feel the sensations. You can do the movements or not if you don't remember them. Sky above me, earth below me, fire within me. Sky above me, earth below me, fire within me. Water flows through me, wise in its ways. This is the dance of all days. Water flows through me, wise in its ways. This is the dance of all days. Sky above me, earth below me, fire within me. Sky above me, earth below me, fire within me. Water flows through me, wise in its ways. This is the dance of all days. Water flows through me, wise in its ways. This is the dance of all days. Sky above me, earth below me, fire within me. Sky above me, earth below me, fire within me. Water flows through me, wise in its ways. This is the dance of all days. Water flows through me, wise in its ways. This is the dance of all days. One more time. Sky above me, earth below me, fire within days. Oh, oh, oh. Yes. I see you grooving, sisters. Ow. Now, I want you to just take a moment and jot down in your journals, and then maybe pop it in the chat. If you were to compare when we sang the first time at the very beginning of class, compared to what that just felt like, that's what I want you to take note of. Emotionally, physically, energetically, any of the above. Hey, way better. Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Amy. Yep. Heart-opening, empowering, tears in a good way. That's a nice transition, Allison. Right? Yes. Tears are great when we sing. It brings up emotion, and sometimes it's great. It feels amazing. Also, we've shifted our focus on why we were singing, right? We've now had a chance to talk about some basic shifts that can make such a difference. Good. So that is about where we're going to have to leave off with those practices. More confident. I felt more wild, LOL, and daring. I wanted to move more. Yeah, and I almost wanted, we're going to stand and sing at the very end. But I kind of wanted you in kind of a between state. I didn't want to stand up quite yet, but notice that your body wanted to move, right? And pairing movement and sound is an incredible practice. Like you can do improvisational, ecstatic dance, just put on a song you love and dance and make sound. And these kinds of practices help strengthen and free up and warm up and smooth the voice without singing a bunch of scales, right? And doing the traditional stuff that can feel so confining and boring and not fun, right? Good. Anyone else have anything that they want to share about that? Good. Okay. Awesome. So I do want to leave time to share a little bit about this next round of Singing for Your Wild Soul and what it entails and how this all is working. So let's transition into that. And then hopefully those of you who can stay, we're going to sing one more song at the end called Shine, Sweet Sister. And it's an awesome song. So, and we'll get up and dance for that one. Okay, so this is the second beta launch of Singing for Your Wild Soul, and it is really special because these beta launches have some unique characteristics that I'm going to share. The main thing is that I'm teaching these classes live. Eventually, what I will be doing is recording videos and having a lot of the training be via video, and then when we meet, we'll do the practices together. But for this, you're going to get everything live because I don't have the videos recorded. And I don't even really have time to do that right now. So it's really special because we get to really get to know each other and work and tailor the course to the women that end up in it. So the curriculum is going to be ever evolving as we go, but we are going to cover some combination. Actually, I was going to pop this in the chat for you, this list. Wait a minute, let me find it. Okay, I will pop that in the chat for you in case you want to see it. Okay, so we're going to cover some combination of vocal technique and vocal coaching, but not the traditional stuff. Sensuality, because they are so intimately connected, and most women have sensual healing to do, just like we have vocal healing to do, and they go together. Then there's sonic and energy healing. Singing with crystal bowls could be something that we do. Singing in ceremony, I know that that's something that a lot of women are being called into. Spirituality, various aspects and topics in that. Light language. My light language has been quite a journey, and I can share about that. And we can, if anybody else is having their light language activated, we can have a space for that exploration. Lucid dreaming and astral projection is something that has been really powerful for me, so that we could weave that in if that is interesting. Connection with nature and non-psychedelic plant medicine. I'm not certified to be guiding and supporting you all in psychedelic explorations, although I absolutely am a fan of them. But we'll keep it to non-psychedelic, like cacao. And then chakras, mantra, many other kinds of topics, but I didn't want to overwhelm you. So those are what we will be weaving together. And I wanted to say a special note about the sensuality, because again, we want to be trauma informed, and the idea of going into these places where we're talking about sensuality is not to trigger. We always want each woman to be feeling safe and taking things at your own pace and honoring that. So that's really important. And I also want to clarify that there was not going to be any nudity. I'm not going to be like taking my clothes off to show you how to do stuff, but I will be teaching sensual practices like breast massage, like the microcosmic orbit, which is a Taoist sexual energy movement practice of moving energy up and down the spine. We will be connecting the sound of our voices, like we were doing today, with our vaginas, and potentially even doing practices like using a jade egg. I can show you how to use a jade egg to wake up the vagina. And I had this realization that most of our vaginas and our voices are brittle and rigid and repressed because of all the things, right? And we can wake them up together. So that is some of what the sensual healing will be around. I've had my own very long journey on all of that, and it's exciting to get to start to weave that in. So I also wanted to mention the sonic healing certification, because I have a lot of questions about that. So that is optional. I didn't want to force women to do it because not everybody's going to be interested. There is some extra work required for the sonic healing certification. I require that you do 33 hours, that you log 33 hours of practice outside of our sessions. So that would be with friends, with family, with the other women that join the group, that you are doing the practices, the sonic healing practices that we learn in the group with each other, so that you can then do it more confidently if you were to move forward with it in any way. And it is a level 1. So I'm not expecting for you to learn how to sing, like me. It took me years to work with my voice. These are all practices that anybody can do. And my dream is that people are spreading the word and helping everyone in their lives begin to connect with their voice as a healing modality, so it becomes more widespread. So does anybody have questions about the sonic healing certification other than what I just said?
Can you can you share a bit more about the sonic healing certification? Like, does that mean I would be a facilitator or guiding or something and leading sessions for other people in some way?
Sure. So yes, that means that you would be able to use the practices that you learn to facilitate and lead sessions, and or to weave them into other energy modality, healing modalities that you already do. So for instance, if you are an EFT practitioner or a Reiki master, then you could weave in sonic healing practices with those other kinds of practices that you do. And we will be doing practicums at the end, where you actually create a project where you weave together the things that you're passionate and excited about with some of the sonic healing practices we do, and teach it to us. Okay, does that answer to a good degree?
Yeah, thank you.
Good. So So let me see, I'm trying to keep track of all the things. So the logistics are that we are going to start in April for round 2. And my plan, I'm hoping that this will work, is to meet weekly on Tuesdays from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the same time we met today, but on Tuesdays instead of Wednesday. And I am going to have everybody fill out a scheduling form just in the event that this really isn't going to work for the majority of the women who are wanting to join. But I am hoping that that time will work. And I'm doing it earlier in the day because we do have women who are in Europe and they have been wanting to be able to join and not have it be in the middle of the night. So yeah. And then we are meeting weekly for 2 hours. So from 1 to 3 p.m. on Tuesdays is what I'm aiming for. During the holiday months, we might have to lighten or amend the schedule slightly. And what we've done is we've sort of rescheduled things with this past group because I was traveling for some of it, and we've had to make some adjustments, but we're figuring out how to get it all in. And it is okay to be late. It's not necessarily encouraged, but I understand. And we'll open the calls with healing, drop in a meditation, and then move on to lessons and coaching and sharing. And those who need to leave early can always raise their hand first to share first. And there will be replays available for all the calls. You are not expected to show up live for every call. I know that life happens and sometimes it's not possible. And again, that's why the replays are available. What else? The bonuses are that you also receive access to my Singing from Your Soul online course. So that is a 5-module course. It has pre-recorded videos and audios and journal prompts where I teach actual vocal technique practices more along the singing, so that you can learn that and start to integrate it, start to stretch and exercise your voice, and then bring it into the group, and we can answer questions and work on some of those things together. But the main thrust of Singing for Your Wild Soul is not, here's how to be a singer. It's more, here's how to open your voice and explore it and have a good time with it. But you also are getting that course, which will help you with your voice. And I've gotten great feedback on it for all of the things that I feel that might have as faults, which is like I recorded and did the whole thing myself and didn't have a professional team. But people have been really, I've gotten great feedback. So that will be part of it. And what else? It's a 6-month program. Did I say that? 6 months. And we also have 3 sound healings that you will receive during the course. And I will be bringing in from time to time amazing healers, soul sister friends of mine who will add incredibly to this container. For instance, I might bring Dominique in. She's an EFT practitioner. She did EFT with us last time. We were bawling our eyes out. It was amazing. So I will bring in people like that. I have a sound healing friend who is absolutely off the charts. She came and joined us. She's amazing. So I will be bringing in extra special practitioners as well. So, are there any questions on what I've covered so far? I've been crystal clear. Oh, Allison.
How big is the group usually?
I don't know yet. The first group was 7 women, so they're pretty small right now. I have, I think, 34 women who have emailed me and said they are specifically interested in learning more. They won't all sign up, so I don't know how many it will be, but right now, because I haven't marketed this much, and this is a new program, it's smaller. So that's another bonus with this. Yeah. Sounds awesome. I'm in. Yay, Amy. Good. Well, I haven't talked about price yet, but let's talk about that next. Is that good for us to move on to the cost? I have some fun things to talk about with this. Okay, so everything about this course, I have been following my guidance, and I will continue to follow my guidance and invite all of us to do the same. And I asked for signs about how much to charge for this. And I received the number $3,333. And as I was preparing Singing for Your Wild Soul one day, I was typing and I walked away from my computer, and I had asked for extra guidance that day. And I walked back and my computer was typing threes on its own. It's never done that before or since. It was just typing 3 space 3 space 3. And I'm just watching this like, okay. So I hit my cursor, it stopped doing it, but I took that as one sign. And then the day that I launched, I just asked for further confirmation, like, please just help me know that I can trust this. And I came across a note on my desk that said that my Akashic healing, what was it? My Akashic light codes were 33333. And then I looked up and the clock said 303. So I received 3 signs of threes about the cost of this course. So it is $3,333. There are payment plans available. And there is so much to be said about money. So I've been on my own starving artist healing journey. Really only recently have I been able to turn my healing work towards my relationship with money and calling in the abundance and starting to shift that narrative. So I'm still really aware of what has happened for women and artists, and that we may have varying financial situations going on. So I really want to call the greatest and most beautiful aspects out of all of us. If you are able to pay that $333,000, if you're able to pay more, maybe you are super abundant and you would love to, to support the cause here, that would be amazing. I wouldn't say no. And I have a scholarship option that is available. So if this feels expensive, I want to talk about that for a moment, because I really want to just be talking about things that we normally like brush under the rug. So there is a lot that you will be supporting with this. One of the things that I find is that most people who aren't musicians don't understand the cost of what it actually takes to be a musician. The cost of lessons, of instruments, of education. My master's degree is $100,000 and running. So the amount of overhead, the running your business yourself, the website costs, the admin, the tech, the courses to learn how to do things, wearing all of the hats, rehearsal time. So there is a lot that you will be supporting around this, including me finally I'm getting very close to starting to really record my albums and get them done. And I really am feeling called to share healing music with the world. And also you'll be supporting me being able to offer scholarships, because that is important to me. So what I'm asking is that you pay what you can, you call yourself into that investment in yourself, and I will be putting out a scholarship application form when I send you follow-up information after this call. So you can fill that out, and then the next step for all of you who want to join is to fill out, to just book a call with me, a 30-minute consult, and we will talk. We will make sure that this is a really good match for you. I can answer any of your questions. We can meet one-on-one, and then if it's right, we can bring you in and officially sign you up for Singing for Your Wild Soul, and I will be over the moon. But we can talk about all of that in that consult. So I think my pages are getting out of order here. I think that is everything I had to cover. Are there any thoughts or questions? No? I've rendered you speechless. Okay, awesome. So what I would love to do now is just sing our last Soul Sister song. This is an amazing song by my dear soul sister, Corey. Thank you, Cora. I'm happy to hear that it was a wonderful sneak peek. Yeah, there's so much that we can do. And like I said, 26 pages of notes, and I had to rein myself in. I want to do all the things. So let me pop the lyrics in the chat for you, and we are gonna sing Shine Sweet Sister. Or it's called Radiant Sister. It's by my friend Corey. She was with us in Hawaii. She came in as well and sang with us for one of the sessions. We sing fabulous harmonies together, so it's super fun to have her, and she'll probably join us as well. So this song is called Radiant Sister, and I'm gonna sing it, and you can join in as you feel ready, and we can stand. Deanna, you made it the whole time. I'm so happy you got to stay. All right, so let's get goddessy, sisters. One of the things we work a lot with in this course is like spiral movements and figure eights. So you are welcome to kind of spiral your body. It allows the sound and the energy to really move through in a really Kundalini kind of way. So here we go. Do I know the lyrics? Let's make sure I know the lyrics. Hold on. I'm going to make sure I can see them. Okay. Okay, let me get my pitch, and here we go. Shine, sweet sister, shine, sweet sister. You are radiant light. Heal with your beauty, heal with your beauty of love so divine. Awaken your medicine, waken your medicine. Let your light shine. Shine, sweet sister, shine, sweet sister. You are radiant light. We'll do that a few times so you can get the melody. Shine, sweet sister, shine, sweet sister. You are radiant light. Heal with your beauty, heal with your beauty of love so divine. Awaken your medicine, waken your medicine. Let your light shine. Shine, sweet sister, shine, sweet sister. You are radiant light. Shine, sweet sister, shine, sweet sister. You are radiant light. Heal with your beauty, heal with your beauty of love so divine. Awaken your medicine, waken your medicine. Let your light shine. Shine, sweet sister, shine, sweet sister. You are radiant light. Bye, Allison. Mwah. I'll email you. Thank you. Shine, sweet sister, shine, sweet sister. You are radiant light. Heal with your beauty, heal with your beauty. Love so divine. Awaken your medicine, waken your medicine. Let your light shine. Shine, sweet sister, shine, sweet sister. You are radiant light. Shine, sweet sister, shine, sweet sister. You are radiant light. Heal with your beauty, heal with your beauty. Of love so divine. Awaken your medicine, waken your medicine. Let your light shine. Shine, sweet sister, shine, sweet sister. You are radiant light. You are radiant light. You are radiant light. Yay. And you are all radiant light. Thank you so much. I know, I don't even know what time it is. We are probably, oh, no, I didn't do too badly. If anyone wants to stay and share, I am happy to stay for a little bit and chat with you. So I open the floor, and I also, we can close sacred space so that you all can leave. Thank you so much, Cora. Yeah, I will be sending out an email after this call with follow-up steps and links so that you can book your you can do all the things. Awesome. Thank you, Cora. So I'm just going to close out the sacred circle. Thank all of the guides and love wisdom beings who joined us here today on all of our behalf. And I'm just so grateful to have all of you here in this space. Mwah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'd love to hear from any of you who want to stay, and you are all welcome to pop off as well if you need to go. Bye, Sarah Joy.
Well, I am very, very excited. I really feel like this is for my soul. Thank you so much. And thank you for sharing your story. And I truly honor your path. And from soul to another soul, I'm sorry that you had went through all this, but I'm sure everything has a reason. And I'm grateful because you are here at this point and you can guide us and share with us all your experience. And I'm excited for what's next. So thank you so much. And you are such a beautiful soul, and everybody is, even though they are gone. But yeah, I can't wait to get started. And I'm really like this huge space is opening up. So yeah. Thank you, Kimberly.
You are so welcome. Thank you. And you're absolutely right. I feel like everything has been worth it because we get to come out the other side and be of service, and it just makes sense, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait to dive in with you. I'm so happy. Yay. Vesna, do you want to say anything? We haven't really officially met yet.
Hello.
Oh, am I saying your name right? Can I ask that first?
I think we wrote last week. I wrote to you that I like missed the first time launching this. Yeah. So we wrote to each other a few times.
Yes, I recognize your name, and I know.
Yeah, maybe that's why. I don't know. I'm just feeling very calm right now, and it's not normal. So it's I'm very stressed. My body is like holding on to stress. So I'm just like grateful for this feeling right now. And that I got to sing with somebody. I'm really don't like to sing in front of people, but yeah. So yeah.
That may change. You may be surprised at how quickly it can change.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so happy that you're feeling calm and that you can use these techniques. Are so simple, and they work quickly. It doesn't take a lot of time. And so as if you join, as you start learning them, or even at what you've learned from today, you can take and just use them, and they have compounding benefits. So
I actually wrote my bachelor thesis about voice, sound, making, singing, and the that's so singing or making sounding influence on the muscle tonus, and it's incredible. So yeah, and it was all about vagus nerve. Yeah.
Oh, sister, we have things to talk about. Oh, that's going to be fascinating. I really want to hear more about that.
Yeah, it's some years ago, but I remember a little bit.
What made you do that?
I just remember enough that I can, like, I could agree in everything you said, because it really have a connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
What made you do that as your thesis?
I think I was always in front of the herd. I'm a psychomotor therapist, but I was always very intuitive. Then where I was to finish my degree, we had like a little, like some weeks about voice and how we could work with voice and body. And I just thought it was not much. It was like missing in all of the like years of studying body and psyche, and and I just wanted to see if there was something in it, because it was so little we had about it, like 3 weeks and nothing else. And it was really fascinating to find stuff and try to find theories, try to put it together, try to research. And like few years after, vagus nerve is all over the world, now everybody's talking about it. This was in 2010, I believe I wrote. So yeah, it's a year. Yeah.
Amazing.
Mm.
And I love that we have you and Diana right now, because Diana is an ENT. And so I feel some cool, magical things coming from this.
Let's make some magic.
Let's do it. All right. Blessings.